Today on CityCast Portland, we're checking in on how our county's drug deflection program is faring. Plus, we've got ideas for last-minute outdoor summer adventures, and we're also digging into the best of Portland's Misse connections. I'm your host, Claudia Meza. With me are Willamette Week reporter and author Brianna Wheeler, and wilderness skills educator, writer, and founder of Wild Solitude Guiding, Norther Emily. How's it going, you two?
Hey.
Hi.
Good morning.
Hello. I usually kick things off with an opening question so our listeners can get to know our guests a little better. But because today is Thursday, our opening question is just for our CityCast Portland neighbors. Those are our paying members who help keep the show going. But don't fret, we also throw in an extra segment on Thursdays because we love all of our listeners. But if you want access to a full week's of our opening questions, some say the best part of the show, some say that's me. It's me. I'm saying that. Along with ad-free listening and some free merch and invites to member-only events, there's a bunch of other perks. Head over to membership.citycast.fm for all the details. That's membership.citycast.fm. Well, thank you both for your answers. Okay, Brianna, you're going to kick things off by checking on how Multnomah County's deflection program is doing, because it wasn't doing much of anything, but supposedly they made some tweaks. Some stuff happened.
Yeah.
But also, could you explain what this deflection program is? Like,
Absolutely.
To all the newbies? Because I feel like a lot of people move to town and they're like, what are they talking about?
Totally. All right. So what I'm bringing today is some reporting by Andrew Schwartz over at WW, and we're going to talk about these deflection programs. So when Measure 110 was dropped, it was not necessarily designed to just decriminalize drugs full stop. Mm-hmm. It was meant to create this diversion pipeline that kept nonviolent offenders out of jail. It's, do you want to go to jail or do you want to go to treatment? Essentially, it's just a path to recovery.
Oh, it's supposed to be. Yeah.
It was supposed to be, yes. That was the impetus for Measure 110. The whole impetus for Measure 110 was this path to recovery, this diversion pipeline. But we all know how 110 shook out, and we also know that it was repealed, and we also know that the issue of drug use on our streets, it very much persists. And the question is, like, where are we at now? One of Multnomah County's major alternatives to addicts facing jail time period is to divert them into treatment. So 110 fails, it's repealed. We're doubling down on this deflection program, right? And it launches in 2024 after the repeal. So it's been 2 years. Let's look at it. It still looks like a pilot program. We've had enough time to kind of like make something happen. And I'm not going to say that we haven't made anything happen, but let's get into what has happened, all right?
Okay.
Since 2024, millions of dollars have been poured into the rental, the running, the renovations of this facility out Southeast Sandy, where in theory, police would take people found with drugs on them for treatment as an alternative to jail, right? That's in theory. In practice, this happens very, very little. Even after the center becomes operational 24/7, even after it adds a broader capacity as a sober facility, even after it opens up to referrals from nonprofits and social workers, as well as the police, it is still averaging maybe 1 or 2 people a day. This system was initially designed, I can't say it enough, to deflect people out of the criminal justice system. Okay, but County Commissioner Julia Brim-Edwards is quoted as saying, yes, it was designed to deflect, but to where? To what? Reports are emerging, and it's just documenting an underwhelming use of the system and really underwhelming completion rates. So everybody's getting really antsy. We want better results. So commissioners passed another resolution to intensify the requirements for completing deflection. 30 days is what it was. It has become 90. So you could get arrested for, X, have drugs on you, get deflected to this sobering center, and if you completed 30 days of treatment and then went on to start taking those post-deflection center steps, that would keep you out of the criminal justice system, right? It's early, but the county's first report since the changes began rolling out says the rate of engagement of people referred to deflection, meaning that they took that initial step after being referred, was 90% up from a historic baseline of 70%, okay? Meanwhile, it's reported that 43% of people referred to the program complete deflection, up from a historic baseline of 24%. But please take a breath with me. 43%, that's 9 people. We're talking about 9 people.
That's right.
Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Are people actually getting deflected? This is the big question. We put money, we put time, energy, effort, intention behind all of this, and the answer is no. In the first 3 months of 2026, the county reported that 78 people were referred to deflection. That's fewer than one person a day arriving at a building that operates 24/7. A spokesperson cautions that this does not reflect the total use of the deflection center because, hello, pew, 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 it is also operating as a sobering facility for people not charged with crimes. And that's important to remember, right? This is still a useful facility and it is adding value to Multnomah County. Yes, it is getting used, right?
But just not as a deflection center. Yeah.
Exactly. They've got like 168 total sobering visits. That's one person every 2 days. But again, what are we doing here? So according to state law enforcement numbers, Multnomah County arrested 1,570 people for possession of a controlled substance between September 1st, 2024 and June 3rd, 2026. That's about 2 or 3 people a day. Okay?
So once you put it that way, it doesn't seem that bad.
Precisely.
Right?
Exactly. That number doesn't seem so low anymore, right? And also, we need to remember that there's like the conversation around co-charges that needs to be had, like trespassing, arson. There are all of these very common co-charges that will render otherwise a good deflection candidate. It will render them totally ineligible for the program. So like womp womp, right? Mm-hmm. We could unpack that for a while. There's a lot of conversation to be had about that. But the bottom line is that good candidates are becoming ineligible. And then Multnomah County made people accused of camping offenses under Portland City Code eligible for deflection. They're trying to like widen the net for people who can engage in these deflection services. Like jurisdictions like Washington County have made the broad suite of code charges eligible, like low-level theft, disorderly conduct. But here's the rub. The thesis of the conversation that we're having right now is that many illegal drug users in our county, they're not going to get arrested or charged or sent to deflection because they're not going to show up in the data at all, right? They're just like hiding out in the parks. They're keeping to themselves. And there aren't police numbers anyway to deal with the number of people on the streets and to just be rounding them up to take them to these deflection centers, right? That if the call is coming from inside the house, honey, it starts at home, right? We can round up as many people as we want and drop them in as many places as we want. If they're not ready to make those changes, they're not going to make those changes. And that's just the truth of the matter. And the ratio of officers to citizens, it's just inefficient. I'm going to wrap us up with this quote, and this really drives the point home. Oh, pun intended. Portland Deputy Police Chief Brian Hughes says, I want to try to do his voice. I'll flat out tell you, if I had a bus, I could drive around right now and fill it up with 200 people right this minute. Which speaks to the idea that we know where they are, we know how to help them, and we have the facilities to help them. But if they are not ready to be helped, then there is no helping them.
Well, the rest of his quote was basically saying, but we don't have the time.
Yeah.
He was basically saying, we don't have enough officers to do this. Because I'm sure they have the bus. I'm sure but can I also bring back, there's a really other interesting quote, same conversation, same story. So it came from Brandon Del Pozo, a former police officer who now researches deflection programs and related matters at Brown University. And he notes that Oregon law enforcement deployed a different sort of argument in their fight against decriminalization of drugs. This is when 110 was up. He noted their complaint was, our hands are tied. We can't take enforcement action when we see drugs. But now they're saying, we don't take enforcement action when we see drugs. And so he's like, I would interrogate that. Basically, like, are the police doing their job as effectively as they could be doing, as they should be doing?
Right.
Or are they sitting on their hands so we can all just be like, damn, we need more police?
Right. There's another question marinating under this is like, what is the job of a police officer? You know?
Exactly, yeah.
I see this as more of like a Portland street response, like an outreach situation.
Yeah, but then the thing about an armed officer or a police officer, the difference of authority between that and someone who's more of a social worker, like a police officer can actually come and go, I'm going to arrest you or you're going to this center. And that is not the stance that a social worker, which is more Portland street response, could take.
Right.
They're there to make sure that the people have what they need, that they're safe. It's a very different, I mean, so are police officers supposedly, but I'm just saying it's a very different stance. And like, we do need that authority at times. We do need some, like, do you want teenagers running wild? We do need someone to grab somebody by the ear and take them either back home or give them a good scare. We do need that. Like, if you think we don't need that, like, we live in a society, you know, but like, But the thing is, like, right now, what we need to figure out is, do we actually have enough police officers to get this done? Because basically, if you didn't quite get it, Brianna was basically saying, hey, we have the capacity to expand. It's not just if you're caught with drugs. It's if you're caught trespassing, or you're caught whatever, police officers could also then do it. But what the police officers are saying is, like, we don't have the numbers.
Right.
But it's like, how much time is it to take somebody to a deflection center? I'm thinking it's paperwork. I'm thinking it's a bunch of other stuff that they're like, we don't have the time because all of us are running around to high priority calls, which we're also not making in time. Please listen to yesterday's show if you want to know about why our police officers right now there's a lot of outrage happening inside the force and outside the force. Nobody's happy. So listen to yesterday's show and so you can catch up a little bit with what we're talking about here. But yeah, this is really interesting because what I'm hearing when I read this was like the deflection center should be working.
Right.
It should be working.
And yet,
yeah. Norther, you got anything to say before we wrap up?
I just think I do not envy people who are in charge of trying to solve this problem because we're trying to navigate our way through like a decades-long opioid epidemic.
Right.
And a lot of it feels very hopeless.
Wow, North, I should never asked.
Thanks for lifting up the conversation.
Wow, Jesus fucking Christ.
I'm going to go
Just
cry.
hearing be so real.
Know that this was looking into this issue. It's a 90-day program. They're like halfway there. I'm assuming Willamette Week is going to poke at it again at the end of the 90 days to see, okay, who actually completed the program? What are the ramifications of that? So we'll be covering this story as well. Let's take a quick break here. And when we come back, Norther, just full of optimism, is going to give us some tips on where to go to get out into nature this summer if you didn't plan ahead. We're in peak berry season, and Grand Central Bakery, on top of their delicious hand pies and muffins, is debuting their brown butter almond tart with fresh strawberries, which sounds delicious. It has a butterscotchy shortbread base with rich almond cream baked into the crust and is topped with sweet local berries. They're sourcing them from Unger Farms, a fourth-generation family farm in Washington County, and the wheat for the flour is from Chimacum Valley Granary, which uses regenerative practices promoting healthy soil. All of their baking is, of course, done in-house, and Grand Central Bakery has been operating locally and independently since 1989. That's longer than our senior producer, Julia Fiorioni, has been alive. Now, you know we don't get to decide when the berry season ends, so you're going to want to try these tarts soon before they're gone. You can order online at grandcentralbakery.com or in person at any of their 8 neighborhood locations. Before I hand things off to Norther, I just wanted to shout out that we are doing our annual listener survey, and we would love if you could take it. It's only about 7 minutes long, and it helps us gauge what you want from the show and how we can better serve you in our city. We have a link to it in our show notes, but you can also just head over to citycast.fm/survey. And when you take it, you're going to automatically be eligible to win a $250 Visa gift card, as well as some cool CityCast Portland merch. Again, link in the show notes or head over to citycast.fm/survey. This is for the person too who's just like, you know what? I would love to support you, but I don't have $10 a month. Can you just take the survey, please? Thank you. That is all. All right. Norther.
Yes.
We have maybe
It's not too late.
Wait, is this you jumping in with optimism? Just like unwarranted?
Here I am.
All right. We have maybe 2 more months of summer weather. Where can last minute trip takers go to get in some outdoor time?
So, yes, it is not too late. Summer just started. Don't let the FOMO take over, right?
Yes. You're like, step 1.
Step 1, let's be real. We just got into July. It's just getting good. We haven't even had very warm of weather yet. So, and my personal opinion is that summer stretches well into October, usually. So There are very few things that are on a permit system in the Northwest. You definitely, if you wanted to camp at a state park campground, probably should have been on top of that in the spring. But I have been seeing state parks on social media posting like monthly or bi-monthly lists of places that still have availability as far as like camping and tent camping and yurts and cabins and things like that.
Oh, cool.
And really, I think like state parks are probably the hardest spot to get into. A lot of people have like an annual tradition of going to the same campground and sometimes going to the exact same campsite every year. So when reservations open in the spring, people are on it. They are making their reservations and they're like getting everything lined up. That being said, I've seen a lot of availability in Eastern Oregon. I've seen lots of availability in Southern Oregon and even further south on the Oregon coast. Honeyman State Park is outside of Florence and has like over 1,000 campsites. You could probably find your way in to Honeyman, guys. And that is, you know,
It's beautiful
maybe
there,
not
too.
the most wildernessy camping experience you'll ever have in your life, but that was my favorite campground as a kid. It's right by the lake. You got sand dunes, you got lake, the beach is there, lots of stuff to do. You can also go on recreation.gov right now and look and see what campsites are open on federal lands. So that would be like your National Forest campgrounds, your Bureau of Land Management lands, all of that type of thing. I looked this morning and I saw cabins that were still open.
What?
Although when I say cabin, we're talking about something very rustic, not
like
Airbnb
no bathroom
cabin.
inside. Yeah.
Like you're sharing space with mice, maybe. It's fine. Yeah.
Brianna's out. Okay.
Sorry.
I personally prefer to sleep in my car. So the little cabin situation is not for me. But some people really like those or have like a more compelling reason to want to choose that option. But there are cabin rentals available on like weekend days in August still. So you guys aren't
that's
too
crazy.
late. I don't know what everybody else is doing this year, but it kind of seems like not that many people are camping. I'd never seen state parks advertise their open spots on social media before. So
Wow.
do with that information what you will.
Maybe we're too broke to go camping.
You know, camping is not cheap in the state parks.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
Especially
yeah.
if you're looking for like an RV type of a spot or even just like a nicer place, like you can spend and making the reservation online. Sometimes there are fees online that you're not expecting. So you can spend upwards of $30, maybe $50 a night. So dispersed camping is always there for you, though. That's if you're looking for more of a wildernessy experience. If you're outside of a developed recreation area and you're in the national forest or the state forest lands or pretty much anywhere on BLM land, you can camp for free. Learn how to read a map. You can camp for free in most of Oregon.
Just don't die.
Just don't die and and practice discernment is really what it is. Because we shouldn't even get to the part where death is a question. We're not doing campfires this year. You can't have a campfire. I don't care if it's allowed. I'm telling you no. We're not doing campfires this year.
Yeah. That is so 2005.
It's like 1850s.
I feel like that was the last like
We don't
safe
do
year
that.
that you could do a campfire and everything after that has been like, yeah, don't do it. And can I be honest, Arthur? Campfires to me is camping. And I know that there's so many people who are probably like, no, because it is illegal actually for campfires. There's no burn zones in a lot of places. So they're probably just like, why are we going to go camping? We can't have a campfire.
Right.
You can get those propane fire things, and they are just as good. And then you also don't smell, and it's not bad for your respiratory system. And yeah, dragging a bunch of wood out into the forest and starting a fire in a fire pit, we don't do that anymore. That's old fashioned. It's boomer technology. We've moved on. Hiking. There are very few places that have permits for hiking. And if there is a permit and you're a local, you don't want to go there during the permit time. Don't go to the gorge right now. I work in the gorge, you guys. It sucks out there until the tourists leave in September. And that's when fall colors come on anyway. So just like skip all of that stuff you know everybody else is doing. Don't go to Silver Falls. Wait until the fall. Wait until fall color time. Stay out of the tourist zones.
Where should they go hiking then?
Yeah. Off the top of my head, like I would love to see more people visit Mount St. Helens because it's so stunningly beautiful there and it's very open-ended. There's a lot of different levels that you could get into at Mount St. Helens and tons of dispersed camping nearby. So that's a great option. You definitely, I think, want to go to an alpine place and you want to go to the coast and you want to go somewhere in the Cascades and you want to go swimming. And then you want to do an agritourism thing, and that's summer in Oregon. If you do all 5 of those things, you'll be happy with the way that you spent your time.
So where can we go for alpine?
So the easiest, littlest alpine thing that you could do would be to go up Lolo Pass on Mount Hood and go to Bald Peak or whatever it's called. It's like 2 miles or something. You could do it with a baby. Chill.
Cool. Second one
was coast. Go to the coast.
Anywhere.
Just go.
Just go to the coast.
Pick something. Try a place you've never been before. My favorite beach on the coast is Oceanside, but you could go wherever. The third one was a Cascades Range. That's a little more open-ended. Mount St. Helens would qualify as that. You go to the Ape Caves. You could go to Mackenzie Pass. 10 out of 10. Anything in the Cascades Range at all. Have a good time. Lots of hot springs out there. Whatever you want. The fourth one I said was rivers and lakes. Go swimming. Just go. You could go to the Sandy if that's all you want to do. But we have probably upwards of 30 rivers that are fantastic to swim in within 2 hours of Portland. So do something you've done before and then try something new. All of the places that you can find on the map that you could go to, they're all worth exploring. There are no like boring forests and there's no like shitty rivers unless they're yucky, you know?
Yeah.
And then the last one is agritourism. Go to the Fruit Loop in the Hood River Valley. Go to Sauvie Island and go pick berries with your friends. Like, agritourism is a huge part of tourism in Oregon. People come from all over the world to do agritourism activities here. Go to a winery. Go for a wine tasting.
Yeah,
go to the pumpkin patch. Do a little agritourism activity with your friends. If you do all 5 of those things, you'll have a nice, well-rounded Portland summer.
I love it. Well, thank you so much, Norther. I really appreciate that. Let's take a quick break here. And when we come back, I've got a fresh new batch of ridiculous Portland misconnections for us to dig into. If you weren't aware, y'all, there is an amazing Instagram account that gathers the very best of our area's Craigslist misconnections. And in true Portland Metro fashion, they're all insane. And I've gathered a few for us to discuss today. So I'm just going to jump right in. First one is, you gave me a painting of a moose. That's the title. You gave me a moose painting last night. You were the woman at the Sandy Hut who desperately needed someone to take a painting of a moose for free. My boyfriend and I thought we were helping you clear out some wall space. We figured, hey, it's free art. Worst case, we put it in the garage. 18 hours later, I'm starting to understand why you look like you were fleeing the scene of a crime. Since bringing the painting home, I've, 1, got a flat tire leaving the parking lot. My cat, who has slept in my bed every night for 8 years, now sits in the hallway facing the painting and growls at it. 3, every photo on my phone from today has come out blurry except for the moose painting, which somehow looks sharper in every picture. My boyfriend tried turning the painting toward the wall. We came back from the grocery store and it was facing the room again. We've decided not to discuss this. I also found muddy hoof prints in the kitchen. We live on the 3rd floor. Our Roomba refuses to enter the room with a painting.
Fuck the Roomba.
And audibly sighs before turning around. I don't know what burden you transferred to us, but I want you to know it worked. I hope you're sleeping peacefully now because we sure aren't. P.S. Does anyone want a moose painting?
Oh my, not the Roomba.
Thoughts?
Haunted
I love
objects.
the Roomba sighing. For one, do we think it's real? Because I don't think this is real.
No.
There's no way, right? But so good.
So fun.
I'm so glad.
Such creepypasta.
10 out of 10 for creative effort. But
Very creative.
You lost me with the hoof prints, honestly.
You're like, there's no way.
They could have had me until the hoof prints. They had me.
Yeah.
And then I really had
Okay.
to.
You're like, this is a joke. Okay.
Yeah.
I love it.
Dun.
I want it to be true. Shout out to Ryan, one of our listeners who brought it to my attention. Brianna, do you want to read our next one? Because there's a lot of cursing and I think you could really embody the spirit here.
Yeah, I'm going to body it. Okay, here we go. To the entitled fuck who parked in my driveway at the street fair, Mississippi. Seriously, the audacity appalls me. You, entitled enough to park in someone else's driveway, would proceed to mock me when you get confronted on your bad behavior? Who raised you? Because it's clear that you are an SOB who drives a shitty GMC. And to his partners in crime who A, didn't challenge him on parking there, and B, just stood there while he mocked me. What are you going to do when he does something actually heinous? There are assholes, and then there are people who stand there and do nothing about them.
Oh, beautiful reading. That was good.
Thank you.
That was good. Yeah.
Thank you.
I'll
take my Peabody.
Immediately, I'm just like, this is the most passive-aggressive thing you can possibly do, and I love it. What do you guys think of this? Have you ever parked in someone's driveway? I've never had the audacity.
No.
Absolutely not. Absolutely.
I don't even want to tow the people who park and block my driveway. And like, I'm like really looking at it and I'm like, I don't know if this person can afford the fucking tow. Like, I don't want to ruin anybody's life here. I think I can squeeze out between the utility pole and the end of their car and the retaining wall.
You're such a good person.
I can't imagine. But I did have a flashback moment from when I lived on Mississippi when I read that on social media last week. I cried in my car because of the Mississippi Street Fair and the like chaos in the street when I was trying to drive home from work at the end of the day, and I was pregnant and I was tired and I was grumpy and I couldn't get to my street and I couldn't get to my house because of all the people. And that's how I learned that I am not fit to live in a neighborhood like Mississippi. I hated everything about it.
You're like, and I promptly moved out.
I did.
I want to just shout out the best comment from that post, which was Ellum M. Knopp said, in the words of Lil Wayne, real G's move in silence like lasagna, should have said nothing, keyed his car, and had it towed.
That's tea.
And I'm like, you know what? Move it along. That's all you got to do is move it along.
Yeah.
I would have never confronted them.
I support that.
I would have towed. Like, if you're not going to tow, then shut up.
Right?
Do you know what I mean? Just
I would have
shut up.
doubled down. I would have done both. I would have towed it, and then when they came back and were like, where's my car? Then I would have started a fight too.
Damn, Brianna.
I need an outlet for all this aggression, you guys. It's
I
so real.
understand the idea of not wanting to confront them, but also I feel like we're really playing into the like Portland passive aggressive thing with that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I do want to fight people that park badly, so I might take the opportunity, but I would also call them in.
I need people to know that Norther's born and raised Oregonian and she's ready to fight. I think this is a rallying call for everybody in Oregon. I think we're ready to fight. It's not just Brianna Wheeler from Southern California here.
Oh, she's been down.
Who's been down? I think we're ready, up in arms here. Yeah, I don't know. I was born and raised in East LA, and I just assume everyone has something on them, and I'm never going to confront someone. I was raised in a neighborhood where you either kill someone or you shut the fuck up.
There's no neighborhood in Portland like that. Nobody in Portland is carrying.
Either I'm towing you or that's it. I'm not going to talk. We both have time for this. Come on.
Wow. We really have the range of responses to this quandary. We really do.
Well, you guys, I appreciate the time that you took to hang out with me, go through some of these headlines. Norther, your tips. Brianna, that's the disappointing stats on what the county is still. I'm just glad they're still working on it. Hopefully, we'll get to have you back again, Norther.
Yeah, great to be here. Thanks.
Brianna, I'm going to see you again next week.
Yeah, we're going to fight. No, we're not. No, we're not. I love you. I don't know why I said that.
Oh my God.
I take it back.
Could never. That's all for today here on CityCast Portland. Thank you so much for listening. If you enjoyed the show, share it with a friend, rate it, leave us a good review, and don't forget, you can support the show and get great perks by becoming a CityCast Portland neighbor. Just visit membership.citycast.fm for all the details. We'll be back tomorrow morning with more from around the city. Until then, see you at Slim's or a river or somewhere in the Alpines, Mount St. Helens.
Maybe the Hillsborough bins.
Most probably the Hillsborough bins, let's be honest.
I'll be there.